Russia, a land of superlatives, stretching over a vast expanse of Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. Once the preeminent republic of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or USSR, it's a country like none other. And in today's video, we explore 10 fascinating facts about Russia. From its immense size to its unique natural wonders, there is so much to discover. So without further ado, let's begin by uncovering Russia's intriguing past, where the story begins in the 9th century with Kievan Rus, a federation of Slavic tribes who laid the groundwork for Russian culture, language, and Orthodox Christianity. After Kievan Rus was the Mongol invasion in the 13th century, then Ivan the Terrible, who expanded Russia's territory and centralized power. The Romanovs took the throne in 1613, ruling for over 3 centuries. Then next, Peter the Great modernized Russia, creating a European-style empire. After him was Catherine the Great, who also expanded Russia's borders, improved its education, and brought about the Enlightenment era. Fast forward to 1917, when the Bolshevik Revolution led to the establishment of the Soviet Union. Lenin, Stalin, and subsequent leaders shaped Russia's tumultuous 20th century. This long history of war and conquerors brings us to our next fact about Russia, a more obvious one and one justified by the current Russia-Ukraine war, is its military, which is the second strongest military in the world because of its advanced technology, a well-trained and significantly strong military force, and strategic global influence. It has over 1.3 million active personnel and spent over $86 billion last year. Despite a few challenges in the current war, it remains a significantly strong military and producer. Taking us to our next fact, Russian production and exports. The country is one of the world's biggest suppliers of many resources, including mineral energy, natural and civilized resources like iron ore, copper, nickel, pharmaceuticals, machinery, cereals, and more. If you remember when the Russia-Ukraine war started, many commodities like wheat and petroleum gas became more expensive globally because they were strongly imported from Russia. In 2022, Russia's exported commodities increased by 15% to $531 billion. Its main trade partners are, of course, China, Turkey, India, Italy, and Germany. Russia is a major global contributor and has done so throughout history, as seen with many noteworthy inventions, which is our next fact: Russia's inventors and inventions. These include Igor Sikorsky, who invented the modern helicopter, Alexander Popov, who helped develop the radio receiver, Mikhail Kalashnikov, a Russian lieutenant who invented the infamous AK-47, and Alexei Pajitnov, who minted the famous game of Tetris unintentionally as he was researching about AI. Intentional or not, Pajitnov is now a billionaire among billionaires, which is our next fact: Russian billionaires, who are among the most in the world. The number of Russian billionaires has increased to 120, up from 105 in 2023, which is an increase of 15 more billionaires with a collective wealth of more than $530 billion. You would think that the Russia-Ukraine war, which brought about sanctions, would stop them. Well, you guessed wrong. They are all getting richer than before, with the richest being Vagit Alekperov, worth $28.6 billion. Fact number 6 has to do with Russia and space. We all know about Neil Armstrong and being the first man to walk on the moon, but he is not the first to be out of space. Yuri Gagarin, a Soviet Russian, was the first man ever to journey outer space, and because of this, Russian is one of only 3 languages recognized as space languages, including English and Chinese. When you think of museums to visit, France, Paris first comes to mind, but next is a museum that rivals the Louvre. It's none other than the Hermitage Museum. Though the Louvre is the biggest museum by size, the Hermitage has the largest collection in the world, with over 3 million artifacts that date all the way from the Stone Age to the early 20th century. Once the home of Russian tsars, this impressive stretch of 6 buildings running along the River Neva was converted into a court museum in 1764 by Catherine the Great to house her impressive collection of paintings. Our next fact justifies Russia's impressive alcohol tolerance, because only until 2011, anything containing less than 10% alcohol in Russia was considered a foodstuff. This means that beer essentially was considered a soft drink and not alcohol until the law was changed by Dmitry Medvedev. However, Russia still has some standout laws that anyone in Russia would need to know. These include joining protests, peaceful or not. Any form of public outcry, be it a meeting or gathering, needs to be properly authorized. Smoking in public places like bars and restaurants is prohibited, as the East European country continues its fight against nicotine, and LGBT rights are not recognized, meaning LGBT activism is deemed as extremism and banned. And finally, the last fact has to do with Russia being a country of superlatives. We all know it is the biggest country in the world, but did you know it is the biggest exporter of natural gas? Home to the deepest lake in the world, Lake Baikal, home to the longest single escalators in the world, has the most trees in the world, and is home to the coldest city in the world, Yakutsk. We could likely spend more hours citing all of what the country is top of the list of, but we'll end here. Russia is a land of vast landscapes, literary brilliance, and surprising contrasts. From the Hermitage Museum to its notable inventions, Russia's allure lies in its enigmatic blend of tradition and innovation. Look out for the next video as we continue exploring different facts from around the world. Till next time, do svidaniya.